What is happening, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome on back to Dragon Age Inquisition. As always, if you're new here or haven't yet, please do subscribe, leave a like and a comment, and if you want to catch up on the rest of the Let's Play so far, go ahead and check the description below. I'll have the whole playlist down there in order for everybody. So, before we head back to the Western Approach to finish that off, we do have some wrap-ups for our missions we set going. I did set this going after the episode, but I'll explain that when we get to it. So, in the war between Navarra and Tevinter, Inquisitor. Through the efforts of hundreds of negotiators, allies, and a few personal connections, Navarra and Tevinter have grudgingly issued orders for their soldiers to return to their respective cities. The contested land has been split down the middle. We have averted a war today. I will add nothing more, for there is no higher reward to ask for. Proudly, Ambassador Montelier. And this was the battalion for Sarah and Verschiel. So she asked us in the tavern a while ago if we could send a bunch of Cullen's troops to march down a street because refugees were getting displaced by nobles bickering over land, so we went ahead and sent Cullen's troops through there. We marched without incident, although I have it on good authority that there were many closed-door meetings among Verschiel nobility. Several useful names have sent diplomatic envoys, and potential future gains may be impressive. Do not tell Sarah I said so. Cullen. She did say that we might get some kind of benefit out of it if we did it. So, I think I was saving this for Liliana. I think that's saving for Liliana too. Let's see. Improving morale. Commander, our work continues in the approach. It's a difficult post, but our soldiers are determined to represent the Inquisition as best they can. Morale flags at times, but we manage. Knight Captain Rylan. Perhaps a distraction would help. We can see about sending books. They could set up a small library. Tell me you know nothing about soldiers without telling me you know nothing about soldiers. The terrain in the approach is unkind. Our soldiers would be more comfortable if fitted with proper shoes. Simple comforts can go a long way, and rations don't lift a soldier's spirits. You can see that they have a good meal at the end of the day. I think giving them better food will do a very, very good service towards getting morale up to where it needs to be. What is this? Venatori and their servants are attacking Valcolleen, hoping to raid its armory. The local baron has requested aid. Send Sir Barris to lead Templar Knights against Templars Mages. The Templars will require more lyrium than we have on hand. I can arrange for an emergency shipment. Don't let Servis go into this blind. The Venatori are well entrenched. My agents can give you information on their defenses. This will be good training for our men. We should send our soldiers as well. I think we can send the Templars to go get this done. We'll make sure they have extra lyrium so they can fight the Tevinters. I would have liked to have, best case scenario, have Liliana scout that for us before going into action there, but I don't think it's necessary. They should do fine. And with extra lyrium, they should be more than equipped to deal with a bunch of Tevinters. And again, now we're engaging in open combat with the Venatori, which makes me happy. Especially after that slimy little shit did what he did with the Wardens. I am definitely pleased to send soldiers to that. I wish you could travel to completed operations, but this is pretty close. Alright, and you can already see our brand new watchtowers, enabling us to explore this place. They built a gigantic bridge across these pits, so we should just be able to hop and skip right on over. An Ocularum right there. I think there was some Astrariums up here too. Yeah, I trust my men to hold the bridge. Although, realistically, I mean, if they wanted to, they would just pour down the sides and then go up. I would have much preferred like a better fortification here. They're worried about the Darkspawn taking the bridge to the fort, they said, but at the end of the day, they don't need the bridge, they just... we already established the sulfur pits don't bother them, and so then why wouldn't they just walk around? Another reason we need to get this taken care of, I think. Before it creates even larger problems for us. Definitely take the Lazarite. Part of me wants to speedrun to Emprise de Leon or the Emerald Grave so we can start stacking up a lot of high tier goodies, but I think to do that I would have to rush through the Orley part of the quest line too. Let's go ahead and drop all of our aggro. Very good. What sucks about that is I didn't mean for him to do that to me. Surely my traps will explode at some point, right? There we go. Artificer becomes such a cool thing to watch play out. You see what I meant, right? About it being super flashy and all the fun things you get to do with this. You just get to hop around the whole screen like a crackhead, spamming a bunch of explosions and elemental abilities. Well, that's his ass. Pause on that when I get my Lazarite. I don't want to dive in with you. I want to you. And that's my spike trap. Absolutely annihilated. Very good. Opening with spike trap is actually not that bad of an idea. It absolutely annihilated him when I opened with it. I just launched him into the air, and then he landed on my elemental mines. We can get an upgrade for elemental mines called Throw Everything, which is the one that we're looking for. Whenever I get to my next level up, that's probably what I'll spend my first new point on. Instead of continuing further down the subclass tree. Enhance, enhance, enhance. I guess I paused on that a little too long. Let's make sure that we don't mess with all our please. Lots of big crit numbers too. Yeah, the reason I'm hiding the helmet right now is because a lot of my options were super fuck ugly. But I do actually want to get one that's good for our build. So next time we get a keep, like I already checked the Western Approach one, I know it's not there, but next time we get a new place to explore, I need to pay attention to the helmets. And I would have initially, I was thinking that a hood would look cool with that character, especially with the kind of aesthetic we're doing, like the Archer Artificer that escapes in shadows. I thought a hood would look good, but the ears clip through. Which is amusing because I'm a human, not an elf, and usually it's elves that have that issue with hoods, but even human ears clip through. Kind of unfortunate. They totally should have just turned the ears off when you equip helmets. Would have been the best solution to that. This Cestrarium is 2 out of 3. There we go. Nice and easy. That is 2 out of 3, and the next one is in this direction, so we're already heading to where we can pick the last one up. No, Ludog, good, he's in the Venatori camp. So our Inquisition scouts said that this was a Tevinter temple that we would have to go through, that's where it seemed the Darkspawn were coming from, was an old Tevinter temple. No surprise. And since it looks like we're going down, no surprise really that an old Tevinter temple would span somewhere to the Deep Roads, right? The Imperial Highway they built to get around the Empire quickly. That has a bunch of different connections to the Deep Roads. Pretty much everything in the world has connections to the Deep Roads because the dwarves needed it to trade with the world. So, their little tunnels pop up everywhere. If you looked at a map of Ferelden, or Thedas in general, I guess, from top down and then turned X-ray vision on, you'd see a bunch of tunnels like you were looking at an anthill. Go down here before we tackle the Darkspawn up there. I think down here is a puzzle. And that's a rune that we need Veilfire for. At least I know where it is. No idea where the lamp is, though. I get to block my tier 3 archery ability. That's rigged. Is he immune to hook and tackle? No, he's not. Okay. It just didn't work for some reason. I was gonna say, that would be the first enemy we found that's immune to that. Yeah, I think this is the one where you have to light different Veilfire runes inside the prison cells. A blood-spattered note. The giants are half feral. There's no room for a weak hand. One is enough to move debris during excavation, but keep it under control. We don't need the whole building coming down. But they have giants in here.
The giant is a beast of burden.
What a charming pet.
Yeah. We'll see how charming you think that is in the future. Ancient jewelry on these guys. There's my Veilfire. That is
Perhaps
the wrong
if I
companion.
made an attempt.
Yeah. It was a misclick solo, so I don't need your lectures. This might not actually be the puzzle thing looking at this. The secret tongue of slaves. Despite widespread illiteracy, Tevinter's slaves have developed a series of small pictograms that they scroll on walls or under furniture, hidden from their uncaring owners. Regional variations make deciphering them a unique challenge. In one city, the sign of a clenched fist means a murderous master. In another, the same symbol indicates a harsh slave owner, but not one with a fatal temper. The ruling class's general indifference to the moods and fears of their slaves make this pictorial argot an important method of communication. It is therefore all the more strange so many Tevinter comedies center around farcical misunderstanding of a sloppily written sigil, where witty slaves scramble to subvert blame in time to avoid beheading. Perhaps it comforts Tevinter's well-to-do to believe that their property is only this clever and human in fiction. Well, it's not easy to treat somebody as property if you keep reminding yourself of the human side, right? Yeah, I guess this is not the puzzle room that I was thinking of in memory. But it does look really similar to the place. Yeah, whenever we get to where, I think it might be in the Emerald Grove in hindsight. Anyways, when we get to it, I'll point it out that that was what I thought this was. That's the spirit room. Okay, so we're in the realm of master runes now. Go up here. Deal with some of the Darkspawn. Howdy, gentlemen. I don't think that Herlock even got a chance to get a shot off right there.
Can't be all of them. There must be more further in.
I knocked him into the sky at the start of the fight, and then he got ice mined, and I think he just continued to be frozen that entire time. The audacity of him to swing his sword at me. Find Darkspawn is so cool. The game doesn't really give it justice how dangerous it is. I know I talked about that a couple, well, probably more than a couple episodes ago now, but one scratch on your body filled with Darkspawn blood, and that's the end of the Inquisition right there. That ability works better if we do that first, because you get some distance on those mines. I think it actually works a little better to throw it from a distance. Yeah, because Yeah, see, that's about the right range you want it. That all landed in an arc around him. You don't want to be doing it from super up close.
Before more Darkspawn join us.
This is the path to the deep roads, or one of.
Darkspawn Bay. The tunnel was open from the outside. Someone was digging here.
I'm digging into some nonsense, probably looking for ancient blood magic or something. Cracked right through into a Darkspawn connection to the deep roads. And then they poured through, probably sensing the presence of the Grey Wardens and other blighted creatures. That's a new flower, so I'll take these. I'll leave those little Darkspawn up there for a second. Faded interrogation notes. The faded ink of this parchment suggests it is from a prison's records. Let none be so foolish as to deny the power born of affection. Mark my words, for death would only bear a martyr. Persuade Talvas to speak the truth. Permit that honeyed tongue to undo its own mischief. They think to question the Archon's authority, to deny his reach. Will they do so once their beloved Lunia sings the magistrate's praises? Should Talvas prove unreasonable, remove her teeth. One wonders how much charm she will wield without a handsome smile. Torturing elven prisoners, maybe, to quash whatever rebellion or rumor was going on here. A missing slave. In Tevinter, a slave is invisible, even though the entire empire rests on our backs. Our hands built the walls of Minrathos and carry its wealth along the crumbling roads. Scribes like myself take dictation and write letters that shift the bounds of power. My daughter, Leonora, a kitchen slave, works night and day so Magister Delphine isn't troubled by a torn robe or a cold supper. Normally, I meet Leonora about the kitchens, but it has been days since our paths crossed. No one has seen her. I can't help but think of the old stories that crossed the slave markets like lightning. How, centuries ago, the ancients built their cities with blood magic, raising the very towers and walls with terrible rituals using our lives as fuel. Thousands of slaves were sacrificed as we were forced onto the altars of the old gods. Magister Delphine's perfect marble-faced mansion likely stands on the back of 100 voiceless elves. But that was a different time. Andraste's words against blood magic made the practice all but forbidden and shunned. Though we may be punished, few slaves are dragged to the altar or milked of blood without at least some reprimand. Yet Leonora is missing, and Magister Delphine seems different. She carries an aura she never had before, and rumors fly that a bitter rival has been publicly humiliated in a duel of magic. Through my grief, I fear, I know, that my Leonora's life was the price. I ache to speak as an equal with Magister Delphine, to demand answers, but such an audience would be a joke to her. No one sees a slave. And I'm sure that's what happened. I'm sure she had a duel and decided to use her slave's lifeblood to power the spell that won the day. Or maybe she just had a little bit of a pep in her step, because maybe she just stole her virility, right? Blood magic spells exist for that too, just off somebody to extend your lifespan. Look at the Warden Mage in the Warden's Keep DLC in Origins. That's what he was doing. He was draining everybody else of their life force so that he could extend his research and live unnaturally long. I think he was like 300 years old or something by that point, so... second to set off my mind trap. And for as much as they talk about blood magic being shunned in Tevinter because of Andraste's teachings, that's not the case at all. And literally in Dragon Age Origins, the guy comes to us and starts draining all the elves of blood, right? Stealing slaves from Ferelden to take back for blood rituals and things like that. So... you can say it as much as you want, but the game shows you otherwise. I'm sure publicly facing, they say that's frowned upon and they have ceased all practice of blood magic, etc., etc. But the reality of that is far from the truth. Have you ever seen anything in Dragon Age that would convince you that a mage would be willing to cede a position of power? Because I haven't. Especially not people from Tevinter. Show me the goodies. Ancient list of prisoners. This crumbling parchment predates the Second Blight. Amo Valin, Thieveray. Ionia Talvis, inciting dissidents to be kept in isolation. Gallus, property of House Lattes, conspiring to commit treason, given over for further interrogation. Zescara Atrius, concealing a fugitive with full knowledge of his crimes. Quinton Navarre, public indecency, sentencing of all criminals to commence 3 days hence, upon the return of Praetor. Public indecency, they put him in a slave prison for exposing himself in public. 20% critical damage bonus is kind of insane, so we'll consider throwing that into our build. We would have to drop the throwing knives bonus damage, but for a 20% critical damage bonus, just flat, that's very good for our build. Our build revolves around criticals, so anything that buffs criticals is just a flat buff.
What was that?
That would be the giant, I presume. How about you challenge this guy instead? Immune to challenge, or is he? Yeah, he's immune to it too. There's a ton of enemies that are immune to my taunts. Tragic, really. She's alright. She's a tough cookie. No, Blackwall was talking about defending her. She gave him shit, so I'm sure she can handle it. Yeah, they're doing that thing again where they all just stand still and teleport to me instead of running around. Wrapped prison key. A crumpled note. There was nothing to indicate this place was built over an old Deep Roads entrance. While the complications with Darkspawn were unfortunate, we've dealt with the pact that emerged, and I will hear no further talk of it. We have enough to secure the South Dig site. You will continue to work in the corridors, and you will do so without complaint. Alternatively, we could use you as a distraction should more Darkspawn hinder our efforts. You serve Corypheus either way. Servis.
Venatori, they've been excavating. I take it breaking into Darkspawn tunnels wasn't part of the plan.
Are we gonna finally get to take a chunk out of Servis? Read a lot about the man. Yeah, why are you doing that? Hold, clear, disengage. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, but at least they teleport to you when you actually get into a fight. It is frustrating me that they all keep getting stuck though. But at least they'll show up and the AI kicks in when it's time to scrap.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh boy. Up, 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 up. We do not want to be on our ass in front of a giant. We're being on our ass in front of a giant. Still us with wonderful positioning as always. Oh my lord, you are support. He's immune to taunt too. Oh. At that point, guess we just need to smoke him. Just put a billion traps at his feet, so if he makes it up, yeah, he didn't. If he makes it past that DPS phase, he's cooked either way.
Nothing's ever
Giants
simple,
usually
is it?
spawn goodies
Men here
for
were
us.
laborers. Someone must have been coordinating their efforts.
Old
Doubt
Hallow.
they stuck around to fend off Darkspawn.
Yeah, of course not. They ran away like cowards. Although it looks like the Darkspawn took quite a lot of chunks out of them before they managed to run away like cowards. Venatory plans. You do well to muzzle your doubt. Our information was passed down to Lucanus from Corypheus' most trusted servants. Be grateful you were chosen to come at all. Think of the power locked in these wastes. We need only to find it. Once liberated, we shall never rely on tinctures of lyrium or crude bloodwork again. Is that not worth any risk, to become a little godlike ourselves? Tell me the thought holds no appeal. We must exhaust every lead, however faint it may be. To do less is to dishonor him. I must check our progress at Echoback Fort. I expect a full progress report upon my return. Servis. Echoback Fort. I guess that's... What? Echoback? I'm trying to think what part of Thedas somewhere called Echoback Fort would be. It's not in the western approach. It doesn't sound like it's Orlesian. Echoback. It sounds like it would be Ferelden's side. Echoback Fort. I don't think I've ever even heard the name before. But Servis is still here, as we can see, in trouble with Darkspawn, so... I'm excited to meet the man. Which he should be right on this side of the wall, actually. Now that we've made our way through the ruins. Spawned a bunch of Darkspawn and abandoned the whole project, I guess. Set up the camp first before we do anything. Get our potions back. Right, you can hold on the potions. So where are we now? We have a rift. We have multiple rifts, actually. This is actually a pretty big location,
More
huh?
trained giants. We can't allow this idiocy to continue, my dear.
Please tell me this one isn't immune to Haunting. Range, I think. Okay, the giant's dead. Very good. Show me the loot, sir. Did your big ass hold for me? Kind of disappointing loot, actually. I guess they can't always spam you with uniques, right? Right, Servis. Your number is up. I'm coming for that ass. I couldn't get your boy, but I can get you. I don't remember what his boy's name was, the one who did the stuff with the wardens, but Servis is about to get punished for it. I'm guessing we have to circle around to this somehow. Oh, this is Echoback Fort. Okay, well, I was totally wrong. Echoback is in the wastes. But we're on the Orlesian side. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me Echoback sounds nowhere near to an Orlesian base. Echoback sounds so Ferelden to me. Where are you at, you little rat?
We should search the area.
Servis. Yeah. That's double the spell. We should be able to drop his barrier outright if we do it correct. Or apparently that does absolutely nothing to his barrier. Look on this. Have another.
The Venatori will not easily recover now. It should make our own hold on the region stronger.
Should be able to talk to you, but for some reason the game won't let me. You can talk to him, or you're supposed to be able to. I think it's his invisibility trait that's messing with that.
Still breathing. He's resilient, I'll give him that.
He could still be of use if we interrogate him.
Yeah, we'll take him in alive.
Have some of the troops bring him in. I'll deal with him back at Skyhold.
Yep, there we go. We will judge him for all of his crimes and the crimes of his friends back in Skyhold. Like I told you, I'd like to make him my bitch in Skyhold if possible. There's our level 17. Let's take a look. Deal with this immediately. My goodies. Alright, so, throw everything. It is now or never. You use every ounce of stamina you've got to litter the battlefield with traps. The more stamina you use, the more traps you throw. And we get 1 trap for every 5 stamina. You now throw only 1 elemental mine at a time, to significantly greater effect. Each throw changes the element of the next mine. We are obviously going to throw everything. We're just going to absolutely pepper the battlefield with every ounce of cringe we have. Blizzard's Path. Elegantly written letter. Magister Nantarius, Varantium Office of the Praetor. Dear Madam, I have been informed that you are looking for an experienced administrator to organize your lead mining enterprises in 4 kingdoms. I humbly present myself as a candidate for the vacancy. I have extensive experience as the overseer of multiple archaeological digs in the Western Approach, and have successfully managed several mercenary army ventures simultaneously. At present, I am seeking new employment opportunities in less arid climes, and as far as possible from the Inquisition. Please see my attached resume for further credentials. Yours, Crassius Servis. Interesting, so he was planning to bail out, huh? He was trying to cut his losses and abandon Corypheus. Which I guess is why he told everybody else that they had to stay in the mine, because the further he can get away, the longer it'll take for people to realize that's what he was doing. I suppose that's what that is. He wanted to make a clean getaway. As far away as possible from the Inquisition. Vial of Archdemon Blood. Oh.
I think Blackwall would have liked to have been here for this.
Let's not mess around with that. Yeah, let's keep ourselves somewhat far away from that, shall we? Maybe it's in this cave. Ah, okay, there it is. And that's a Master Frost rune. So we got 2 Master runes now at this point. Alright, well, I'm gonna take this cave exit, grab the Astrarium, and then we'll wrap the episode up. So thank you for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like and a comment on your way out, and I will see you soon with more Dragon Age Inquisition. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Peace.